Hi, my name's Michael, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm going to continue with the International Booker Prize long list, and I want to talk about Faces on the Tip of My Tongue by Emmanuelle Pagano, and this is translated from the French by Sophie Lewis and Jennifer Higgins. This is a really difficult book to talk about, and my problem isn't essentially with this story or the book itself, it's with the decisions the publisher made when releasing this book. And a lot of this was found in the translator's notes when you finish the book. The book, Faces on the Tip of My Tongue, was originally written in French, and the English translation of the French title would have been A Fox with My Bare Hands. And it seemed very strange that they changed the title so much. But then you read further in the translated notes and you realize that they've cut out a lot of the book. The publisher says they've collaborated with the author to cut down the book to make it a bit more accessible to the English speaking audience. So we've got a 150-page book, which in French would have been about 300 pages. And that bothers me. That's really what annoyed me with this book. So essentially, this is a whole lot of interconnected stories, and they are depicting rural French life. And there's some beauty and there's some lovely writing that comes out in this book. You could get easily swept away with the writing. It is very nature heavy, it's very elegant, and it flows beautifully, and it has this sense of rhythm that really is great. But then I can't stop thinking about how much of the book has been removed. I would have liked this book a lot more if there was more connected stories, if there was more with the book, because I think the beauty with interconnected story is having just those subtle connections, those little nods to something else, and just the more stories you get, the more of a web of different connections it makes. And from what it seems like, they took out all those connections and only kept the connections that were obvious. There were connections that were meant to be triggered by a sound or a moment, and they were all gone because they wanted to have that connection where it was easy to see that connection. And that really annoys me. I think the beauty of interconnected stories is trying to find those connections, trying to discover those connections, and people could make up ideas and have theories on how the stories connect. And I think that's wonderful. I love reading a review or having someone talk about a connection they picked up that I hadn't noticed. And I find that really fascinating. I really like that feeling of discovering more about a book later by talking to people and have them discuss their feelings towards it. And we've been deprived of that because the publisher decided they wanted to make it a little more accessible, a little shorter. And I feel like that's censorship. I feel like we're being ripped off. I feel like cutting out bits of a book because they wanted to make it easy for an English speaking audience is a little condescending. I think that we read translated literature to learn about the world, to learn about things we don't know, and we are missing out on that opportunity. And this is not the first time this publisher has done that. I know that with Soviet Milk, which is probably one of their biggest sellers, they cut out a lot of Latvian history, a lot of stuff that the English speaking world wouldn't have known. And I think we're not learning because they've not given us a chance to learn about that. And that really bothers me. That really annoys me. And I can't help but to dislike the book because of that. I feel like it's unfair of the author because of the publisher's decision here, and I feel like it's unfair on the translators. But I can't trust the publisher. I feel like the publisher has broken my trust and has made decisions that I disagree with. Like, I know publishers have to make these decisions to try and sell books, but I feel like this decision is just too far. I feel like it feels like censorship. I feel like they're hiding information that could have been useful or entertaining. I feel like they are doing a disservice to the art by editing it heavily, and it really bugs me. It really annoys me, and it makes it so difficult for me to review the book because all I can think about is how much the publisher has ruined it for me, how much they've taken out, and it makes me wonder what I'm missing. And I'm hoping that one day maybe this book will get translated again into English, or maybe I'll learn French, because I'm curious to read the full story. I enjoyed it enough to want to know more, wanted to see those connections play out more. And I feel like I've been let down. And how can I criticize a book or review a book when I feel like I'm not getting the full experience, I'm not getting the intended book? And I guess that's what I have to say about this book. It really bugs me, it really frustrates me. So let me know in the comments below what you think. Have you read this book? What do you think of the book? Maybe you have something better to say. What do you think of the publisher's decision to edit down the book? And let's have a conversation about this book and about the International Booker Prize, anything at all. If you want to follow me elsewhere, all my links to social media are in the description below. And as always, thank you for watching.